Oh, the hits truly do keep on coming. I've been able to talk about so many of my favorite stories this year so far, and I know this one just kind of came up last year, but recently there's been a development that Kayla doesn't like to be Kayla the entire time, okay? Likes to play out this fetish in real time in front of minors, and the school board is totally fine with that. Big think on that. Send your kids to public school. They're just totally great, right? So, in light of this revelation that I think the Post broke, shout out to them, Kayla Lemieux, the Canadian teacher with size Z prosthetic breasts. It's like, that was one of the big tip-offs that was right there. Okay, if you were trying to live your life as a trans woman, why would you go with the comedy titties? It makes zero sense. But no. Kayla's being stunning and brave, and you're just a bigot if you don't adhere to that reality. But lo and behold, the truth eventually came out, and now, instead of being fired for making a farce out of your entire public school system, I just placed on paid leave. Alrighty then, the Canadian high school teacher who wears massive Z-cup prosthetic breasts in class. I can't believe that's something that we're reading in today's day and age, but we are here after all. Confirmed that Oakville Trafalgar High School shop teacher Kayla Lemieux was put on paid leave Tuesday. While not currently in an active assignment, the teacher remains employed with the Halton District School Board. He'll probably get a much cushier position. Definitely has the padding for it. Lemieux's suspension comes after the education minister Stephen Lecce and Halton Region's MPP member of provincial parliament. It's like a state house representative. That's what I can equivocate it to. Natalie Pierre, of course. Stephen Crawford and Effie Triton of some Greek bitch rebuked the school board for having abdicated its responsibility by failing to put the interests and safety of students first. No, we read the statement recently in one of the previous videos on this subject that the school board, it's out there to pay attention and to keep safe one demographic of people. The teachers, fuck them kids. That's the position of the public school system in Canada. What a fucking disaster. One mother named Lynn told the school board Wednesday that forms of identity and expression presented in the school environment must be scrutinized against the child's safeguard practices. Why the fuck are we listening to this ideological bitch? Fuck her and her shitty opinion. Gender expression? No, stop normalizing mental illness. Let's just say it at this point in time, okay? That right there, you need to do that. Meanwhile, you're roaming the streets looking like that. Just fucking stop it, okay? You are trying to play out your sexual fetish in front of children. This is a high school, you fucking weirdo. The board has remained largely quiet about Lemieux. Hate to steal a phrase from some contemptible groups of people, but your silence speaks of volumes. While parents have raged for months about her wearing the prosthetic. Bro, did you see the other picture? Oh, no, right. Gender fluid, right? You can be whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You can just switch like that. I'm a man, I'm a woman. I'm a man, I'm a woman. I'm a tree, I'm a pimp. I'm a cuck, I'm a simp. I'm all of those things at the exact same time. Doesn't matter if I'm wearing the big old fake titties or not. Yuck. Photos and videos taken in school have shown her wearing tight clothing with large nipples protruding under the fabric of her top. If this isn't like a sex ed module, why the fuck is that something that you have to read about going on in a public high school, for Christ's sakes? Yo! And yeah, that picture right there, when it came out right at the beginning of the school year, it's like, okay, cool. You could even as woke as Canada is, and this is in Ontario, okay? So it's a really, really, really woke place. So just try to cast your mind even in that frame. Not even just trying to live in a would, should, could reality where if I was the emperor of Earth, there would be nobody looking like that. What would my means and methods be? Well, I'll just let your imagination run wild. So dealing with the world the way that it is and the way that Ontario is going to accept all of these abominations, well, okay, all you can do is just extrapolate from there. Why would you? Okay, if there was a woman that was built like that, sorry about the strong jawline, they would be told to cover up. Having titties that hang down, nipples that run parallel with a belly button, you would be told to put on a fucking bra. You'd be told to put on a blazer. That would not be acceptable at all. And then wearing, nylon bike shorts or whatever, spandex bike shorts, it's like nothing about that attire is acceptable at all whatsoever. But it is that Family Guy meme, run amok. Oh, I'm sorry, sir, you can't be drinking here. No, it's all right, dude, I'm trans. Okay, fine, everything is free. It's pulling the victim card in order to get out of any responsibility. The board, yes, anyways, back to this. The controversy has sparked numerous threats of violence against Lemieux and school officials. Well, those threats, interesting. It's very interesting. Canadian school hit with multiple bomb threats over a teacher with Z-cup prosthetic breasts. Well, they probably just called in and it's like, yo, we hear that there's 2 bombs at the school right now and they're inside the wood shop room. That was the only reason I brought up that article, was for that hack fucking joke. My apologies. The Board of Education meetings have descended into chaos as it attempts to address the issue, and then they look and then they just want to ban somebody dressed. What was it? David Menzies from Rebel Media showed up in the exact same getup that Kayla Lemieux wears to class, and he got shown the door and barred from any of the school board meetings. Hilarious when stuff like that happens. It's almost like the exact same thing where you had that mother. Oh, I forget what state it was. I think it was South Carolina. Might have been South Carolina. She showed up in the nylon, or the, I don't know why I want to continue to say nylon. I guess it's just a degenerate fabric for all this type of nonsense. But she was wearing that leopard unitard that a drag queen was wearing. I know, it's all of this shit is so fucking weird. But she was wearing the exact same getup that some drag performer was wearing on the stage. Like, how is this acceptable if I'm wearing it here? And you guys are taking offense to this, but yet you just take kids out of class in order to show them this type of trans alphabet propaganda. It's the exact same shit played out, but in the big progressive Great White North. Even though Ontario's kind of just like just a greater extension of New York, because Toronto's like a shitty version of New York City. Haven't been, no desire to. Fuck the East. The saga gained international attention and came to a head after the Post revealed last month that once outside school, when he's hitting the streets, Lemieux often ditches the breasts, wig, and makeup. Yeah, because that shit is cumbersome, man. Like, come on. And appears as a man, baby, which sent shockwaves through the district. Probably not, because, what was it, the Post? Yeah, the Post. Yeah, the Post did that. They went down there, and yeah, there's a link to the article itself, and I went over that at the time. I was like, wow, big shock on this one. But no, all of his neighbors was like, no, he walks around like that all the time, and only dresses up like that on special occasions, like when they go to school. Interesting. Post showed a dressed down Lemieux wearing men's sweatpants, sneakers, and a puffer vest. Oh yeah, just regular fare. Imagine that. Funnily enough, more concealing clothing when he gets dolled up to go teach woodshop. Okay. She insisted in a sit-down with the Post that the man baby in the photos was not her. Bruh. Although she admitted she could not prove it. And denied wearing prosthetic breasts at all. No, it's my sister. This would be, oh God, if the world was actually funny, like this would be a hilarious sequel to Mrs. Doubtfire. Like if they were gonna have a Mrs. Doubtfire extended universe, and the only way that Robin Williams' character could somehow interact with his kids at school was to dress up in this horrific attire. Mrs. Doubtfire, if you take a look at it with red pill awareness on, is a horrific tale about how corrupt and evil the family court system is. Like, I know it's funny, and he does the hello after dunking his face in some whipped cream. I watched it a bunch of different times, but then just running it back, it's like, wow, the lengths into which a father has to go to in order to just be involved in his children's life post-divorce. What a horror story. But right, this is a comedy this time around. These are real, Lemieux said. Sorry, what? Adding that she could not say who the person photographed was because I don't want to bring anyone else into this. Yo, normalizing mental illness. You love to see it. This is who I am. This is how I look. You've been talking to people in my building, but what they're telling you is harsh and untrue. I'm always going to look the way that I am. Unless I need to go uptown real quick, then don't worry about it. Lemieux told the Post that although she began undergoing hormone replacement therapy in 2021 and was in transition, she was not a transgender person, but instead born intersex. Used to call them hermaphrodites back in the cut, but alright. The teacher said that her extra large breasts were caused by a condition called giant titty disease, but also admitted that she'd never been officially diagnosed. Now, because I'm a man of God and a bit of a gentleman, I don't need to kiss and tell tales out of my past, but I know a guy who knows a guy that has dealt with some women with some very, very, very large titties. Some softer than others, some hang like a old grocery bag attached to a wall with cellar tape with a cantaloupe at the bottom of them. You win some, you lose some, allegedly. But even as a man of God, I have never seen titties look like that in my entire life. Like there was, oh my God, that was, I guess, one of those really, really, really old, early internet pictures, okay? Or maybe it was a screen cap from somebody on Maury or Jerry Springer. It was this black lady who had the world's largest titties, Z cups, and seemed to recall, like, she was wearing, hey, funnily enough, like a cheetah skin top or something like that, and she could hide a shoe underneath of it, and you couldn't even tell the difference. Like I said, I'm old, and I've seen a bunch of different things, but them things were long and tubular. Those let me preface this appropriately, because you motherfuckers might take this completely out of context. Those were real titties. They're obviously not. They're just giant prosthetics. If they were attached to an actual biological woman at that size, well, I think that this is super fucking haram. They would probably be looking at getting a breast reduction, because those things, if they were full, they'd be like 30 or 40 pounds a piece. Like them big titties, dude. Because that's a big dude. That's a sturdy dude right there. And those prosthetics, I'd imagine that you got an entire harness. They aren't quite as heavy as the real thing. And then also another thing, like, again, that friend that I referenced because I'm a man of God. You see titties that size normally, and especially if they're free flowing like that, them nipples point straight fucking down, dude. So that's how you know. Like, it doesn't take a woodshop teacher in Ontario to figure this stuff out. Like, come on. So what is gigantomastia? A rare condition that involves developing extremely large breasts. Woohoo! Due to excessive breast tissue growth. Is that normally onset in about your late 40s? I'm just wondering, which is said to be only about 300 cases reported. I don't believe you. Pictures or it didn't happen. Well, probably if... yeah, exactly. Those look legit. I'm just... Does that look like a real person? It's like, bro, you can even just run the nose on that one. You can tell it's kind of got a little bit of an upswing there. And there you go. It's the exact same nose. At worst, it's brother and sister, but at the corner of actual and reality, it's the same dude just running a stink. Just running an op right there. In order to, if you want to shout out to the one of the previous videos I did, I'm not too sure, it's probably coming out. So yesterday with Megan Hall, you remember the officer who had to choo-choo run on her? This is all just going to end up manifesting in a quick payday. A big lawsuit for gender discrimination because he's really playing this up. That person was born intersex. I ended up losing my job because all of this stuff is real and you guys just can't handle a real woman. Oh, Lord. I look forward to having some of my taxpayer dollars go to this fucking circus. So, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.